Hello, my name is Anna Davidson. I'm a student at Georgia Gwinnett College, and today I'm going to be talking with you about Yucca Mountain. Since the 1950s, the United States has been using nuclear power as one of our main sources of electricity. And as a result of using all this nuclear power, we've accumulated highly radioactive, very dangerous, highly deadly nuclear waste. Today we have over 40,000 metric tons of it. And we're storing it in these 17-foot long metal rods that are immersed in basically swimming pools, and these swimming pools are in or near our nuclear facilities in the US, and we've got over 100 of them. In Georgia we have two, one in Augusta and one in Baxley. The problem with this solution, which is really, it's not a solution, it's because it's not long-term, is that these nuclear plants, where these pools are very close to people's homes and to towns, and people drive right by them, so it's not safe. So in the 1980s, a solution was found, and it was Yucca Mountain. Yucca Mountain is in the southern part of Nevada, as you can see on the map on the right. It's just north of Las Vegas. The good thing about Yucca Mountain is that it's volcanic rock, which is very good because nuclear waste emits a very high temperature. So since Yucca Mountain is volcanic rock, it can withstand that high temperature, which is why it's one of the most viable candidates. So the way this plan would work is the nuclear waste will be brought in from the different facilities in the US, and it would be put on a train basically and taken into the mountain. It would be taken about 1,000 feet below the surface into a main tunnel, and off the main tunnel are several sub-tunnels, and within those they would store the nuclear waste inside casks that are very tested and safe, and then they would lock them up, and they could last in there for hundreds of thousands of years. But since radioactive waste is known to last for up to 1,000,000 years, the good thing about Yucca Mountain is that if it were to penetrate the casks, then the mountain itself would provide a second barrier, since it is 1,000 feet below the surface and it can contain it. So here are some photos of Yucca Mountain underground. The photo on the left is a main tunnel, and you can see the rail right there for the train. The photo on the right is a sub-tunnel, and that is a model cask that is there in that photo.
This is
here's
the
a short video
repository
explaining
side here along
the
this
process.
tunnel. About every 265 foot, there'd be an 18-foot diameter tunnel that would go down to about between 3/4 and 2/3 of a mile in that direction. And in these tunnels is where the waste would be in place. So you are at the repository here.
So along with the Yucca Mountain comes some risks, and we've talked about risk in this class. First is transportation. The nuclear waste itself would be transported either by truck or by rail from the different nuclear facilities. You can see them in that map on the bottom. And people are a little bit afraid of this because a truck coming through your town with nuclear waste doesn't sound so great. But what a lot of people don't know is that nuclear waste is already transported by truck and by rail throughout the US. So really we're not doing anything new here. We're just taking it to a different destination. Second is radiation exposure, and that can happen during transportation or in the mountain itself if the waste were to penetrate the casks, which, like I said, is very unlikely. Second is volcanic activity. Since Yucca Mountain is volcanic rock, there is a slight chance of volcanic activity, which would disrupt the nuclear waste below. But it's very unlikely. It's been tested, and it's been proved safe. However, in 2010, the Obama administration decommissioned Yucca Mountain as the United States permanent repository for nuclear waste. And this was very supported by Senator Harry Reid from Nevada, but most people agree that this decision was mostly political, not based on facts or science, anything that we've seen at the mountain. It's mostly based on the protests that were occurring at Washington, D.C. and in Nevada that influenced this decision. So this has left us with no permanent solution for storing our nuclear waste here in the US, and we're forced to continue piling it all up in these nuclear facilities near our homes and our towns and where we live. I believe Yucca Mountain is worth reconsidering because we're faced with a choice. Either we continue stockpiling all this nuclear waste at these nuclear facilities that are near our homes and our cities, and they're not protected, we're not protected from the harmful effects that that has, or we can move it to Yucca Mountain where there is some danger, but it's not so much as what we're doing right now. So Yucca Mountain is still our best solution, and it's worth every effort we've got to keep exploring it. Thank you.